Hello everyone and welcome to another episode on the Ordinary Boy Boxing channel. We're joined again by Rupert and myself. He was so excited about the last video that he wanted to be part of this one as well. So today we're going to ask the question, what on earth is going on with Anthony Joshua? Now specifically I'm going to be speaking about his now infamous post-fight speech that he gave after his second loss to Usyk. Bit of backstory coming into this fight. Obviously there was a lot of pressure on Joshua's shoulders. He had lost before, he lost to Ruiz, and he obviously had the rematch in Saudi Arabia. But from memory at that point there was a lot of people that were confident that Joshua could get the job done the second time. With this fight, most people were saying, you know, it's going to be the same result. Joshua got outclassed last time. There's no reason why it won't happen again. So that was obviously laying heavy on his shoulders. Also there was an incident where I think he was in training, or he was going jogging, and a load of students started. I think all they did was they were chanting Tyson Fury at him. And then his response to that was to go up to their dorm room and threaten them, as you do. So yeah, Joshua wasn't in the greatest frames of mind going into this Usyk fight. You could see from the ring walk he was very tense, he was very angry. Obviously this meant a lot to him, and obviously when he lost you saw the aftermath and you saw how much that loss meant to him as well. So I watched the replay of the outburst. I watched that back today. I haven't seen it since I watched it live, so I did make a few notes. So we'll go through it together. I'd love to put the video on of the outburst from Joshua, but it's Sky Sports who have it, and I think they'd probably copyright strike me and the video get took down. So we'll just go through it. So the results came in. Obviously Anthony Joshua had lost the fight. You could see Joshua was starting to pace and being consoled by members of Usyk's team. He then goes over and talks to Lomachenko. I've no idea what was said between those two. Now after that you start to see him look really angry. I think the reality of what had happened had set in, and you can literally see that realisation, it dawning on him in his face that he has lost again and he's not going to be getting those titles back anytime soon. He then decides to grab the belts, holds them aloft above the ropes and starts shouting, "This is what it's all about, this is what it's all about," and then throws them out the ring. I mean, just so disrespectful. They aren't your belts, mate. You lost them again. They're not yours to hold. They're Usyk's. Secondly, the champions that have held those belts, all the belts were there apart from the WBC. All the other belts were there. Even the Ring magazine was there, and you're throwing them out the ring. Just so disrespectful. I've seen a lot of things in boxing, but that's up there with the disrespect that fighters have shown. Honestly. You see him walk by Usyk. Usyk's now looking embarrassed for Joshua, to be perfectly honest. He then seems to have some altercation with a member of Usyk's team. I don't know what was said, but then this is where he really starts to get angry. You can see some of his team grabbing him. Then out of nowhere, Derek Chisora grabs him. I didn't even know Chisora was there. You know it's a bad situation when Derek Chisora is restraining you. So then he gets escorted out of the ring, makes his way to the end of the runway. You can now hear the crowd really start to boo him, which I was quite surprised at actually, because Saudi Arabia is usually a quiet crowd, but they were really booing him. It was an awful look for Joshua. It's actually surreal watching it. Joshua shouting with someone just away from the camera. At this point I think he started to realise how this looks, so he makes his way back. I think he thought in his head, if I go back and explain why I've stormed out the ring and why I'm feeling the way I'm feeling, it'll be better. In reality, you've literally threw the winner's belts out of the ring and had a paddy. There's not much you can do to make it better. You're making it worse by trying to make it better. But anyway, he goes back to the ring. At this point you see Eddie Hearn just looking absolutely dismayed. He knows what this looks like. He knows how bad this is. So yeah, he's looking very worried, which is understandable. Joshua comes back into the ring. You see him going towards Usyk. Joshua's now got the Ukrainian flag with him. He starts shouting at Usyk that he's strong and Usyk isn't, and he has character, so why did he beat him? Just, like, the arrogance, the absolute arrogance. I understand he's upset and I understand he put a lot into it. Usyk's been fighting for his country only a few months before. Don't stand there and speak to him about character, my God. And then he gets onto the microphone. It didn't work at first, but then he got it working. And then someone actually tries to take, someone takes the Ukrainian flag, and he's like, no, I'm having the mic. And they're like, no, we don't. We want the flag. So he gives him the flag back. I mean, they must have been thinking, you're making yourself look a knobhead. We don't want you having our flag while you're being a knobhead, which I completely understand. So yeah, and then he gave his famous speech. I will read it for verbatim, because obviously I don't want Sky Sports to take my channel down. So yeah, I'll just have to read it along. so he has the mic. He says, Usyk is one hell of an effing fighter. Let's give him a round of applause. Absolute silence here. Not because people don't want to applaud Usyk, but because people are like, what on earth is going on? Sorry guys, look, if you knew my story, you'd understand the passion. It's not about you, mate. It's about Usyk. Usyk's won, not you. What are you doing? I ain't no effing amateur boxer from 5 years old. I wasn't an elite prospect. I wasn't an elite prospect from youth, bro. I was going to jail. A little dig. I think the fact that Usyk was a brilliant amateur and Joshua wasn't. Well, so what, are you making excuses? What are you doing? Then he starts talking about Red in jail. I mean, think of all the stuff that's gone on in Ukraine. This was the moment where Usyk would have grabbed that microphone and spoke about probably what had happened in Ukraine and how he's fought for his country tonight. Instead, rather than listen to Anthony Joshua talk about when he was in Red in jail, he goes on, I've seen some use in Red in jail. I got bail and I started training my ass off, because if I got sentenced, I wouldn't be able to fight. I bust my case. Okay, like what has this got to do with anything? Then he shouts at his little cousin who's standing over there. Where's he at? G14. I'm guessing that, is that the postcode? I don't know, the little nicknames they have for their gangs or whatever. I'm stealing this, Usyk, I'm sorry, but it's because of the effing passion we've put into this, man. So he does realise that this is crazy what he's doing, and Usyk should be speaking. Then he goes, guys, I'm telling you, this guy to beat me tonight, maybe I could have done better, but it shows the levels of hard work he must have put in. He's basically saying here, like, I mean, I'm great, I'm well good. So he must put loads of work in to beat me. That's just mental. So please give him a round of applause, our heavyweight champion of the world. I think at this point, I don't remember correctly, but I think at this point he starts saying like, hip hip hooray, or something like this. It's just absolutely balmy. He goes on, I'm not a 12-round fighter. Look at me, I'm a new breed of heavyweight. All of them heavyweights. Mike Tyson, Sonny Liston, Jack Dempsey. Did someone compare Anthony Joshua to Tyson, Sonny Liston and Jack Dempsey? Because I don't know where this come from. Really random. He's really just absolutely lost it at this point. He then does an impression of someone. He goes, they say, he doesn't throw combinations like Rocky Marciano. Because I'm not effing 16 stone, man. I'm not effing 14 stone. That's why. I'm 18 stone. I'm heavy. Okay, we get it. Chill, mate. It's hard work. This guy here is a phenomenal talent. We're going to cheer for him 3 times. Well, how many belts have you got now, bro? 5? And then Usyk just looks at him like, what are you doing? What are you doing? This ain't... They tried to make a joke, and Usyk's like, what are you doing? Just absolute silence again. He goes, as I said, I was studying Ukraine. Were you? And seen all the champions that have come from your amazing country. I've never been there, but at the same time, what's happening there is not nice. No, it's not, Joshua. It's not nice at all, mate, really. No, it's no Red in jail, but it's not nice, no. He says, I saw it with Lomachenko, and points to Loma. In your second fight with Orlando, there was unrest in Ukraine. There was civil war. Loma just stares at him like, what? I don't know if Lomachenko couldn't understand what he was saying, or didn't know why he was saying it, but he just looked bemused at him. I think in the end he just nodded like, okay, AJ. Vitaly Klitschko, when he faced Danny Williams, There's civil unrest. Under them circumstances, Usyk has managed to become champion. Champ. And I just want to say, Bismillah. And then he leaves. And finally gives the microphone back to Usyk, who should have had it originally in the first place. Just embarrassing from AJ here. I did feel for him a little bit. I mean, afterwards he was crying in the press conference. That was not before, though, on his way to the press conference, where someone else said that was disrespectful, rightfully so. And then he starts going at them. Yeah, I mean, I felt a bit for him, but it was just the arrogance. It was, you know, it was all about him. He did the exact same after the loss to Ruiz the first time, if you look back. He took the mic straight away and started speaking about himself. He's like that egotistical that even when you've lost, you think you're still the most important person. I mean, there'd been a war in Ukraine that had started. Usyk had gone over to fight for his country, had come back and had now regained the heavyweight championships. And Anthony Joshua thinks what's more important is to hear about when he was in Reading jail and about how he's heavy and that's why he doesn't throw combinations. Like, mate, just... It was a shame as well, because I thought Joshua did a little bit better in this fight than he did the first fight. And if he'd have kept his mouth shut, there'd been a bit more praise for that. But instead, we're all just going, what a plonker you are, mate. So I don't know, is this a new side of AJ we're now going to see? Will we see this kind of, this ugly side of him, or the real side to him come out in future fights? That'll be interesting. Fair play to how Usyk handled it. You know, it couldn't have been easy. It was just really disrespectful. And yeah, the whole thing was bizarre. It was like something out of The Office. It really was. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. Even watching it back today, I was like, wow, this is just absolutely absurd. So anyway, yeah, that was. So that's my thoughts on the Anthony Joshua situation. What did you think of it all? Did you watch it? Did you think his outburst was crazy, or did you agree with it? Do you like this side of AJ? Do you prefer it to the kind of the media-driven one? What did you think of it? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe on this video. Thank you for watching, and thank you from Rupert. We both enjoyed ourselves, I think, on this one, Rupert. But yeah, I look forward to seeing you in the next video.